today on, I think this is part 4 of healing codependency and decentering work. And I think these two things are very related for me. I have 45 days till this event, like a literal trade show event that often really stresses me out. And I think naming some feelings and patterns out loud can be really therapeutic. So thanks for listening if you've been following along. I had a very bizarre dream last night. So today's going to be a little more existential because I woke up a little disturbed. The theme of the dream was getting left behind in terms of people moving on and doing really exciting things, meaningful things with their lives, and me feeling like I'm not. So I think dreams are a way to explore some things that are coming up for you, and the tone and feeling of the dream is more important than the actual symbols, I think. Not others would say the symbology is really important, but I think it's more what does that mean to you and how does it feel? And this felt awful. I woke up and I felt really bad about myself, and I'm also getting into the part of my hormonal cycle where the feelings start to come up, and it's really hard, and I talk about this quite a bit on my channel. It's really hard to understand, do those things come up because things are coming to the light during this time to heal, and we're not as easily distracted and able to move past them because there's something in us that's saying, no, look at this is important? Or are these feelings we just need to survive, essentially? Like, don't put too much weight into what you're thinking and feeling because dark thoughts come up and you just have to ride the wave until it shifts and you see everything differently. I don't know the answer to that. I wish I did, because I think that's a really important and powerful question. So is this feeling true, or do I just have a bizarre perspective right now? And I have sensed, and I don't know that I've said this out loud because I feel a little foolish, that I am capable and I'm here for important things. And I don't mean that in a grandiose way, like I'm going to be a celebrity or that I want to be a celebrity, but I feel like I'm here to do something really meaningful. Maybe everybody feels that way. And I even, this is also embarrassing to say out loud, but in high school, surprisingly, in the yearbook, received the superlative most likely to be famous. And that really surprised me because I wasn't like a theater person or someone I think you would associate with being famous, but some people saw something in me that was capable of some greatness. And I can't help but feel like some of the anxiety I feel around work is just due to me not living in my purpose or in a way that allows me to really use my gifts and feel like what I'm doing is important and meaningful and aligned. And I've had snippets of this in my life where, I had a quarter life crisis and I did a yoga teacher training, as one does, and started teaching yoga and felt like that might be it. And I thought once I got out of the corporate world and into this more spiritually involved world, in quotes, that some of these dramas and people acting strangely would no longer exist in my reality. And it was not true. There's just as much, if not more, drama and conflict in those worlds too, because people's stuff is coming up and they're not always willing to see it. And people get into those communities for all different reasons, sometimes for the right reasons to truly heal and take accountability, and sometimes to feed their ego. So it's not a guarantee that you're escaping the corporate world and now everything is sunshine and rainbows. And I started my own clothing company with a couple of friends, and that was super fun. I felt like that was it. We're doing our own thing. We're carving our own path, and we are not beholden to any bosses. And that felt like it. But that ultimately dissolved, and the path to being financially secure there just was not clear to me. And I was at it for almost 10 years. And I just eventually said, I had my son and said, I just don't want to be doing this instead of being present with him. So I made that choice. And then I was really trying to make some things work. And I remember my husband saying, why don't you just go back to full-time work and stop stressing about trying to make all these random things work. It's causing you a lot of stress. And you can still do those things while you're working a full-time job, but at least you have steady income. And work doesn't have to be everything. You show up, you do your work, and then that gives you the time and flexibility to do what you want in your off time. And I think a lot of people feel that way. Like, do whatever for work. It shouldn't make you miserable, but it's not the point of your life. All that happens outside of work. And I had some hesitations because it just wasn't quite what I believed. I had read the 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss and Think and Grow Rich and these other books about not living that conventional, work for a paycheck, trading time for money. I'd had these ideas in my head, but it just didn't seem to be working. I wasn't manifesting, or something wasn't right, and I just wanted to get back to making money. So I did that thinking it would be a stepping stone, but then I never left. I went from a career in higher ed, maybe it's more of a job, to then a company I really loved. I worked for a functional beverage company, and I thanked my lucky stars every day for about 4 years. I was like, this is the greatest job ever. And the money was okay, but I never dreaded going to work. I believed so passionately in what we were doing, and, a scrappy startup life. And I've been in that world before, so I could deal with that. But dynamics, once again, it just started to dissolve, and mistakes were made on all sides, and it just wasn't a healthy place for me anymore. And I was really sad to leave. I'm still emotional about it to this day. And then I again took another job, the one I have now, saying, I don't know if this is a field I'm excited about. It's really blossoming, and it's exciting, and that there's a lot of momentum, and there's so many people that are really passionate about the field I'm in, but I don't know for sure that I'm one of those people. But I think the people and the environment you're in is often more important than the industry. Some really boring industries can become things people are really passionate about. Like, I knew this woman who sold insurance with State Farm as like her own franchise, and she made insurance just so exciting and amazing, and she was really passionate about it. And I think that can happen in almost any field. It is really challenging to never feel like I'm completely competent and I'm not an expert. And versus in the functional beverage industry, I felt like I was an expert and I could really speak to it, and that was a good feeling. But I'm getting the reoccurring feelings again of I'm not in the right place. And that's why I feel this constant, I have to really psych myself up to get in the zone with my work and to feel passionate about it. And in marketing, you need passion. You can't just wake up and check boxes and get things done. You have to be creative. You have to message things in a way that's going to motivate others. And there are days that is really fun, especially when it comes to motivating the team. I see that as a big part of my work, that it's bragging about what we do so that the team can feel good about the place that they work and the work they're doing. But I have this nagging feeling I'm supposed to be doing something else. And that's part of why I started this Embodied Style channel, because I know one of the things I'm most passionate about is feeling good in your body, dressing yourself in a way that you can present to the world the way that you want to. You can change your mood through style. You can change your experience of the world through your style. I really believe that, and I can't stop talking about it. That's why I started the channel. And I'm not doing things right in terms of a marketing perspective. I could be growing followers so much faster by doing certain techniques and posting more consistently, but I really want to keep it as a passion project. I don't want to apply all my work know-how. If it happens organically, that's wonderful. If it blows up and goes viral, but I don't want to do the things. I ran out of room on my phone, so I had to delete some videos. I really I thought maybe the path in the channel would be eventually working with clients one-on-one and helping them with their style. And I've done it a few times with some friends just to practice, and I do enjoy it, but I find resistance, I think, because I'm already very consumed by my full-time job. And when I do have time off, I'm really selfish about wanting that to myself. And I hate having to do something. Like, now I owe this thing to somebody and I want my time to be my own. So I can't sort out if that work was really truly fun and aligned for me, I wouldn't have those feelings. It would just feel like fun and not like work. So there's some weird resistance, or maybe it's resistance of fear that I'm not going to be good at it. So I'm sabotaging myself, or maybe that's just not it. And I don't know. And I'm really happy for a friend who recently told me she's opening her own hair salon. She's a stylist, and it doesn't feel hard, even though there's a lot. She's got a building, she's got to renovate, she's got to hire a team. She has to, totally like buy all the inventory. It's a lot of paperwork. She's not stressed, and it's fun because it feels so aligned. And God, I want that. That's what I want. I really don't think I'm afraid of hard work. When I had my clothing company, I was like a mad woman. I was constantly thinking about it and doing things and hustling, but it was fun hustle. I think since I've calibrated and learned to be a little softer, I was a little too hard, like super, what one might say, in my masculine energy. It was a lot of checklist and get things done. I think I would bring more lightness and joy and feminine energy into it now. But I'm just really craving finding that thing that I'm just so aligned with and excited about. And maybe that's what a lot of these uncomfortable feelings are about, is a sign. Something's trying to tell me, girl, you are not in the right place. So I don't know what to do with that. I don't know the answer to that. I'm not in a position to just quit my job and take time to figure things out. I need to have a plan, and I need to be financially stable. I have a family. So I don't know. This is not one where I have an answer, but this is what I'm thinking about today. So I'd love to hear from you if these are topics you struggle with. Some people might watch this and be like, wow, this girl is a massive overthinker. She's killing herself. Or maybe you relate and you're like, yeah, I think about these things too. Let me know below. It's all for today.